Here in the VS Code, we have the basic HTML structure. I have linked the HTML file to the CSS file and I gave it a title of Aqua Estate. I have a HTML file and I also have a CSS file. Apart from it, I created a folder and I insert images inside. So this is actually all we're having here. From the CSS file, I have the universal styling. I've imported Google font. So this is actually all we're having for now. So in the HTML file, within the body tag, I'm going to create a div with a class name of hero. This hero div is going to be the body holding the entire front page of the website. So this is going to be the first thing you're going to see when you open the website. Within this hero, I'm going to create the header of the page. So I'm going to use the head tag. So within the head tag, I'm going to insert a nav tag. In this nav tag, we're going to insert the list items and we're also going to insert logo. So first thing, I'm going to insert a div with a class name of logo. And for the logo of the page, is going to be a text of code def is the logo of the page. Below the logo, I'm going to insert UL, which is on other list items. So within this on other list items, we're going to have an LI, which is the list items. And for the list items, I want them to be linked. So I inserted a link inside before putting in the text. So for the first text, we have a text of buy. We're going to have the second text, which is going to be rent. The third LI is going to be commercial. The fourth LI, we're going to make it to be on scale. Now, this is actually what we're having for the header, and this is all we're going to use for the header. In the CSS, I'm going to target the hero, which is the body holding the front page of the site. First thing is, I'm going to make the maximum width of the hero to be 1500 pixels. So the hero can be below 1500 pixels, but it cannot be above 1500 pixels for bigger screen sizes, especially when you're viewing it on a TV. I'm going to make the weight of it to be 100%. Then I'm going to give it a minimum height. The minimum height it can reach is 100 VH plus 50 pixels. It means I'm going to have a full screen plus 50 pixel height again. So there's going to be a little bit of space below the full screen, which is the 50 pixel I inserted. I'm going to make the margin of it to be 0 from the top and bottom, and from the left and right is going to be auto, which is going to adjust the hero container in the center. Apart from it, I'm going to insert a linear gradient, which I'm going to use two colors, an Alice blue color with a tan color. These are the two colors I'm going to use for the linear gradient. And with that, this is the result it's showing. Now I'm going to target the header of the page, the body holding the nav holding the logo and the list items. The first thing in the header, I'm going to give it a weight of 100%, which is going to be 100% of the body. I'm going to give it a height of 50 pixels. Now, I'm going to target the nav, the body holding the logo and the list items. First thing, I'm going to give the nav to have a padding, which I'm going to make the padding to be 1 EM from the top and bottom, 1 EM from the left and right. Giving it a background color, we're making it to be transparent because we want the background image to reflect. I have two items, which is the logo and the list items. So because of that, I'm going to give it a display of flex. So it's going to flex the two items inside. Give it an align item center, which is going to adjust it from the y-axis, and justify content in the x-axis is going to be space between the logo at the left-hand side, the list items is going to be at the right-hand side. I'm going to target the logo, the class name logo, which is the logo of the page. Give the logo a font size. I'm giving it a font size of 1.5 rem, making it the font weight of it to be for 700. 700 is bold. And the color of the logo, I'm making it to be black. Now I'm targeting the UL, the body holding the list items. Make the UL to be display of flex because it's having child element inside, and the child element are the LI. So make the LI to be display of flex. Give a padding for the UL to be 0.5 EM from the top and from the bottom, 1 EM from the left and right. Give the UL a background color. I'm making it to be black. Make the edges of the UL to be curved. Border radius of 10 pixels. This is what I'm having. Target the LI, the body holding the links. The LI is having a bullet point, so I'm going to give it a list style of none, which is going to take out the bullet point. Give it a padding, a 1.5 EM from the top and bottom, and 1 EM from the left and right. Links by default have underline with them, so we're going to take out the links using a text decoration of none. Give the link a font size and give it a font weight, and give the links a text color which is going to stand out from the background. When you hover on the links, make sure that the cursor is appearing. Regardless they are links, it's going to appear, but just insert it to be on the safer side. When we hover on the links, we want some changes to happen. So we're going to change the color of the text to a different color. Now we are done with the header of the page. We're now going to come below and start putting content in the body. In the HTML file, I'm going to create a div with a class name of inner hero. Within the inner hero, we're going to have two child elements, a body holding the content and a body holding an image. The first child I'm inserting is a div with a class name of estate. Now this estate is going to be the body holding the image. Then I'm going to insert the second child element, which is content, and it's going to be the body holding the H1 paragraph and buttons. The first thing in the content, I'm going to insert a H3. Below the H3, I'm also going to insert a H1. Below the H1, we're going to have a paragraph, which is going to support the two headings on top to briefly explain what the page is all about. Below this paragraph, we're going to create a div with a class name of BTN. Now, this body BTN is going to hold two different things. It's going to hold an input and it's going to hold a button. The input is going to serve as a search box. We're going to head to the estate div and now insert an image inside. Now, we are done with the inner hero for now. We're going to head to the CSS and start styling the looks of it. For now, this is what we're having. We're going to head to the CSS and target the inner hero, the body holding, the content div, and the estate div. The first thing we're going to give the inner hero, we're going to give it a maximum weight of 100% of its parent container. Now, in the inner hero, we're having two items, the content and the image. So, because of that, we're going to make them to be display of flex. We're going to make sure they are aligned in the center using align items. Then we're going to give it a text align center, which is mostly focusing on the content div. Give it a flex direction of column so that the text will be in the top and the image will be in the bottom. Give it a margin from the top, which is going to give a space from the top of the inner hero. We're going to target the content, the body holding the H3, H1 paragraph and button. Let's give it a weight of 100% of its parent container. Let's make it a padding, 1 EM from the top and bottom and 2 from the left and right. The first thing in the content, we're going to target the H3, which is the first text we're having in the content. Give it a font size. Let's make the font weight of it to be bold, in other cases 700. Making the text color of it to be black, so that it can stand out from the background. Let's target the H1. Let's give it a font size. But for the H1, the font size I'm giving it, I'm using clamp, which is going to make it to adjust into different screen sizes. I don't need to use media query. So using clamp, the first value I give determines the smallest size it can reach. The middle value I give, which is 7 VW, determines the font size I'm using on this screen. The third value determines how big the text can go. So in different screen sizes, clamp will control how the text grows and shrink. Let's give it a color. Let's make the color of it to be black for it to stand out from the background. Let's make the font weight of it to be bold. And line height, let's make it to be 1. Let's target the paragraph, the text below the H1. Let's give it a font size, making it to be 1 REM. You can adjust it and see how it looks based on your own project. Making the font weight of it to be 600, which is a little bit bold, with a line height of 1.3. Let's give it a padding, a 1 EM from the top and bottom, and from the left and right, let's just make it to be 0. Now, target the body holding the search box and the button. We name it to have a class name of BTN. Let's give the BTN to have a padding, 2 EM from the top and bottom space, 0 from the left and right. Let's make it to have a weight of 100% of its parent container. Let's target the first item in the BTN, which is input. Let's give it a weight of 50%. Let's give it a padding, 0.6 from the top and bottom, 1 from the left and right. making the background color of it to be transparent. This is what it looks for now. Let's keep styling.